Hey YouTube, it's Ben here, and a question I've been getting asked pretty commonly in the comment section under the videos is how do you get that pristine, clean water? How do you get that water that makes the fish look like they're floating in air? And I want to go ahead and share with you what I do, and maybe that'll help you. And certainly there are a lot of tanks out there that have that very clear water quality. And let me share that with you, and maybe that'll help. All right, thanks for watching. When you watch my videos, what you normally see floating around are micro bubbles that are the product of the surface agitation that is being created by the outputs of the two sun canisters that I run on this tank. And apart from that, you don't really see a lot more floating around. You will from occasion to occasion, because I mean, let's face it, these cichlids, these African cichlids, they're poop factories. I mean, that's just the truth. They make a tremendous amount of waste, and when you add that to that overstocking factor that a lot of us get involved in, it makes keeping water quality high extra challenging. There certainly are some basics, and by basics I mean overfiltration. Overfiltration, of course, means, at least the way I interpret it, really falling within that 5 to 10 times per hour in turning over your total tank volume. So in other words, if you have a 100-gallon tank, are your filters moving anywhere from 500 to 1,000 gallons an hour? So falling somewhere within there. Now, keeping in mind that when you stuff those canisters full of media, whatever the rating is, and regardless of the canister, that gallon per hour number is going to go down, because of course the water flow is obstructed. So using that 5 to 10 rule on gallons per hour, I think that's partly behind the success of my water quality. Also, the way I've set up my canisters, and you can certainly do this with some of the larger hang-on, your HOBs, your hang-on back filters. I have it set up so that the water travels through a coarse sponge filter, and then a medium sponge filter, and then a fine sponge filter. And then on top of that, the water travels through a polyfill, just your basic crib batting polyfill. So the water gets pretty polished before it gets anywhere near the beneficial bacteria media. The beneficial bacteria media isn't necessarily doing any cleaning. Your cleaning is being done, of course, by your sponges. They're stopping the detritus, the gunk is being stopped by your sponges. And your beneficial bacteria, of course, media is just producing the bacteria that's going to munch on that ammonia and the nitrites. And of course, your water changes remove your nitrates. My water changes are usually between 40 and 60%, depending on how my nitrates are reading out. And as an update on that, my nitrates are now back down into the range of around 20 parts per million after doing some adjustments in the tank, and that you can see in prior videos. And then, of course, at the very top, as the water travels through the canister, and it goes from the bottom to the top, right? I mean, in Sun canisters, the water travels to the bottom of from the tank to the bottom of the canister, and then travels up and back to the tank. It's pulled or pumped back up. So it goes through the sponges from coarse, medium, and fine, through the polyfill, where it gets a nice polish, and then hits the bacteria, the beneficial bacteria producing media, and then it hits a bag of Seachem Purigen. Now, I was sort of mixed on the Purigen, like, I don't know, do I or don't I? And but I'll tell you something, I ran without it for a little bit and then put it back in because I had some Purigen that was exhausted, and I didn't recharge it. I just tossed it, and I ordered, and in the time between ordering that Purigen and having it arrive, I noticed more particulates floating in the tank, and then after I added the Purigen, an immediate clear up occurred. I mean, it was shocking how fast that happened. So that, and of course regular water changes, and I'm doing monthly canister maintenance. So and certainly if you open the canister and it looks pretty pristine, I wouldn't mess with it necessarily. I mean, you can also over mess with your filtration, and by that what I mean is you can kill off beneficial bacteria and inadvertently restart your tank on a cycle. You can sort of recycle your tank, which of course can be very dangerous because you can create ammonia nitrite spikes. Okay, so that's how I keep my my fish floating in air. And one word of caution, and I'm sure those of you who've been in the hobby for a while are very familiar with this. Very clear, very clean looking water isn't always healthy water. Just something to keep in mind. And this is why we run tests, because your water can look very pristine but contain ammonia or contain nitrites or other unhealthy things. So just a word of caution that the goal is not entirely pristine water. It's a combination of things to create the best environment for your fishy friends to survive well in. Okay. So this is a little flametail that I won, and in a contest. How cool is that? Okay, so that's my tip. I hope it helps, and thank you so much for watching the videos. I really appreciate you guys. You know that, and definitely comment below if you have any other tips that you want to share with anyone else on how to keep water looking good. And certainly come on over to the Ben O'Cichlid Facebook page. Share your comments there. We have a great group going, and definitely there's another group now that just started up called Cichlid Aquatic Lounge. Aquatic Lounge. It's a group started by one of my favorite fish guys, Jay Wilson. So I'm going to highly recommend that group. It's a startup group, so get over there, take a look at it, along with, of course, the Tank Talk group. Certainly two of my favorite fish people there, John Hudson and Jay Wilson. And IFG has a group now, IFG Tips and Tricks. Check out his Facebook page, and of course the IFG videos are always rocking. All right, so there's a few shout outs, and thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to subscribe, rate, comment, And if you hit that little bell, you notice that little bell there next to the video. If you hit that, if you click on that, I think it gives you an alert every time I post a video. So if you want to get get alerted when I post a video, just click on that as well. All right? All right. Thank you so much for tuning in. Bye-bye.
Ya llegamos, paisanos.